So Alice is now just about to turn 8 months. She likes pretty much any food that I'm eating, she wants to eat. She's quite energetic and quite happy and cheerful. Later teenager years, my mother advised me about the family having Huntington's disease in it. On my dad's side, sort of set me up for the perspective of I'm not really going to get married. I don't want to get into the relationship with somebody that needs to have kids or want to have kids. But at that time, the predictive testing wasn't known of, or I didn't know about it, so it was something new as well. And you know, that was sort of our journey, and we sort of thought, oh, well, we can do this. We can get the predictive testing done and make sure it's, you know, do our best to prevent passing on the gene. And that was really what started us down this path and getting into the IVF, because that was just really a part of getting the predictive testing meant you had to go down the IVF path. Basically, yeah, take my sperm, Natalie's eggs, they do their bit in the tube.
They had 3 strands of DNA on 3 different generations, so they created a test from those 3 strands of DNA. And so that's what they test her DNA, they tested Alice's DNA against. And
then essentially whatever embryos aren't affected with the condition, they'll use those to put back in, go through a normal IVF cycle.
I shared my journey with my immediate family and a couple of close friends right at the start. And then was telling them, you know, step by step what was going on. But after a while, you can't keep communicating to everybody what's happening, because it drags on for so long and it's such an emotional ride. You've all got to deal with it in your own way. I just assumed that I would fall pregnant with my first egg, that they would pop it in and I would be pregnant. And that wasn't the case, because she's number 9. Yeah, so we went through 3 cycles to get her. Throughout our process, we had PGD nurses that were part of our team, our support network. They were fantastic, they were great. And they were there anytime I needed to call for anything. I'd ring up with the slightest question about the medication, the injections, what I was eating, how I was feeling. I was sitting in the car after my acupuncture session, because they were enjoyable, and the nurse that rang, and I was waiting for that phone call and said, well, I've got some absolutely amazing, wonderful, brilliant news for you. Take a big breath, honey. She said, you are pregnant. Even after they, you know, I gave birth and they popped her on my belly, I just kept sort of poking her, going, yeah, you're here. You're here. And I was just in this elated shock. And it wasn't until we were driving home that we left, and we drove past IVF and we drove past the hospital, and I just couldn't stop crying. And it finally hit me 5 days later that we were taking this baby home.